All right, we already talked about one historic win in ASU history. You guys ready for another?
Bring it.
Okay,
Bring it, dude.
I want you guys to close your eyes.
Freaking bring it.
I want you guys to close your eyes.
Nope.
Shane.
I'm closing my eyes.
Close your eyes, Shane.
If you don't follow my instructions, I'm not going to follow you.
Shane. I was playing a game, damn it. Okay, everybody? Our eyes are closed?
Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, don't close your eyes. We need you here, okay? So, everybody just close your eyes, sit back, and listen to the greatest 56 seconds of ASU football history.
Emphasized in that graphic. This time the blitz comes and a play fake rollout. And Plummer now running out of time. Buys himself a little wide open. Back wide open. His pull for the touchdown. And the Sun Devils of Arizona State are on the board first. This is easy from up here. Third down, a long 10. And this one gets away. Ball is loose. Frost back in his own end zone is down. That'll be another safety. Unbelievable. 26-game win streak is snapped. And it goes back to 37 games if you count the regular season. As you so aptly put it, one of the great victories in Arizona State history. This is a good football team, and we knew that, but I never thought I'd see what I saw tonight. 19-0.
Wow. ASU shuts out #1 Nebraska, 19-0, 1996. I believe it was September 21st. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if ASU did that today?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
If ASU shut out,
especially in this era of college football,
shut out #1 Georgia, 19-0. Are you kidding me?
It's ridiculous, and it kind of shows like how amazing this defense and how amazing this fan base and Sun Devil Stadium was in '96. You don't three safeties don't just happen because you're having a bad day. It happens because of the defense, but it also happens because of the crowd and the atmosphere.
Yeah, and that reminds me. I think a little while back did something about the Rose Bowl against Michigan and how like Michigan was like, literally scrambling and had to call it multiple timeouts and everything because ASU fans were just so loud and there and just in their face. And obviously you can hear it in the background, like of the call, you can hear everybody just going absolutely nuts.
Yeah. And I want more people to know about like this game that go to the ASU now.
Yeah.
Because this is what the school can be.
Yeah.
And that's
be powerhouse.
It's the same stadium. It's the same stadium. Different renovations, but it's the same stadium. Also, GCU, pipe down, little bro. Like, come on. We're not. First of all, if you don't know why we're doing this right now, we're not just reliving ASU memories. The Pac-12 is dead. And we're reliving ASU's best memories. We talk about this team 5 days a week.
6 if you include audio
May
episodes.
29th. What do you want us to talk about, VAZ?
Let's reminisce. Okay? None of us were alive, though.
I was about to say, let's think back to what we were doing.
Yeah. But again, it just goes to show like that this game, when it occurred, and that season in general, like still to this day lives on as the best season in Arizona State football history.
Yeah. And if you are like us and weren't there to experience it, we have a broadcast from ABC 15. I think it was the next day, just recapping the game, and it's pretty amazing to just watch. So we'll go ahead and roll that now. It's seeing some of these. First of all, just the environment there. This is after they won, and interviewing the players, Pat Tillman, who forced a safety. I mean, he was
look how hyped they are.
Yeah, and the goalposts coming down, like it. You talk about a inspired fan base. Juan Roque, friend of the program. It's awesome, man.
I mean, that's peak college football.
Yeah.
And that's peak college football at Arizona State. Again, I think, we've talked about what this program can be, the fan base, all of it. And this just goes to show, again, if you haven't seen this video, if you haven't like gone and looked back at that 96 season. And that game, by the way, occurred on Frank Kush night. Yeah. Like that is, again, like
beautiful.
It's you couldn't write a better story. In every single year, if you've been to Mountain America Stadium and you're there for a game and you see their intro and you see the intro right before Sparky comes and stomps on the bus, you see they've got some soundbite. Arizona State upsets upsets #1 Nebraska 19-0.
Yep.
Like it's
the funniest thing too about this game is this isn't like now Nebraska. This isn't Big Ten Nebraska where they would have been number one because of dominance and defense and grinded out football. This was a high powered offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had won what 20 something straight games.
24 straight games, and Nebraska had a chance to score a touchdown that would have meant nothing basically to make it 19-7 would have been the final, but you. Like 19-0 just sounds so much better.
Yeah, the shutout's a big part of it.
It was stripped, and Tillman recovered that fumble.
3 safeties.
Which is so awesome.
3 safeties, absolutely crazy.
I wonder how many times that has actually happened.
3 safeties in a game. I can't imagine it's very much.
Yeah, I would assume oftentimes it is a blowout.
Yeah, it'd have to be but not even like in a
mode.
highly competitive game, but like if Alabama plays like Charleston.
A&M.
Even then, you don't even see 3 safeties. Is such a
nuts.
rare.
You got to luck into it.
Yeah, you really do, based off field position, turnovers, all that type of stuff. Nebraska head coach Tom Osborne said this quote following the game. ASU's defense played well. We just couldn't move the ball. The turnovers, 2 or 3, hurt. The one safety was like a turnover, and we had poor field position. The story of the game was they just whipped us, and we didn't move the ball when we had to. And the fourth, we needed a big play, and we didn't make it.
You know what's so funny about that quote is you can tell, like obviously you said it all composed. You can tell he's rattled, and he's not thinking before he's saying. He's just talking.
Yeah.
He's just talking in that quote.
I mean, how could you not, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, you're high-powered offense, you're coming in, and you just get absolutely shut down. And, I mean, demoralizing not being able to score at all, even at the end when it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
But that just shows how much it mattered to ASU. And probably, like, a big part of them doing that and, like, playing till the end like that is not only because they want to do that, but because the fans, right? The environment. You don't want to get scored on when everybody is going wild and crazy and cheering and everything like that. And this is one of those games that, like, yeah, I mean, I was not alive for this game, but this is something that you heard about and you knew about very early on in like your Sun Devil fandom. Because even if it wasn't like directly like, sit down, young Erik, we're going to teach you about what happened against Nebraska. You just hear people talk about it. Yep. You just hear people bring it up. Oh yeah, and it reminds me of that time that ASU shut out Nebraska 19-0. Like, and you're like, oh really? What happened there? So this is just one of those games that will never be forgotten. Will always have massive importance. And I mean, Kay in the chat says like you're seconds away from a national championship, basically at that point with the way the national championships were decided.
I mean, you lose to Ohio State in '96. That was the only loss of the season. But again, a lot of history for this game. You mentioned Frank Kush night. ASU moved to 3-0 for the first time since 1982. The 3 safeties was a school record. Jake Plummer moved past Danny White into first place on the Sun Devils all-time passing list. Mm-hmm. ASU jumped from 17th to 6th in the AP poll, the second biggest leap of the season.
They had a first place vote too.
It's just unbelievable.
To this day, still the last time a number 1 team has been shut out.
Yeah, it's. I think it's only happened twice. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
You guys weren't really around. You guys remember just how loud Sun Devil Stadium would
Used
get before they got rid of the upper deck that went all the way around?
Yeah.
Wild.
It's nuts. Jagger also brings up a good point. People, the other arguably greatest season in ASU history is obviously when they went 12-0 in '75. It's awesome that happened on Frank Kush's night because Frank Kush beat Nebraska to go 12-0.
Yeah, I mean, there's just you couldn't write a better story of that game.
No.
Right, the season you could obviously write with a picture perfect national championship.
Right. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I mean, it's just again the 70-7, like. The juxtaposition between that game and this one, it's so vastly different just because of, I think, the meaning behind it, what the teams were on the opposite sides, right? Mm-hmm. You have a number 1 team versus an Arizona team that was probably the worst football team over a 2-year span in college football. But they still mean so much in their own ways. And again, like these were prime time moments for Arizona State, their history in the Pac-12, in the Pac-10, like that you're just, those moments, they don't necessarily die with the Pac, but I think you look back 10 years from now after they were taken.
They were
putting them in a vault.
They were killed.
Staring.
They were killed. Danielle, give it to me. They were killed with greed and the worst type of people in the world.
You want to call anyone out specifically?
No. I mean, everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Jacob, this is actually what it's all about. I remember as a kid, my dad and I would watch those old games that he taped. Some of my first memories were watching that Nebraska game over and over again. Still gives me chills.
Yeah. I wonder how
It's
many
great.
ASU fans like that was the moment for them that they're like, I love sports.
Yeah.
Right. Or just like how many students went to that game and like, oh, it's
Yeah.
number one's in town. Like, of course we're going to go to
Yeah.
that game. And you end up on Mill with the goalpost.
To be honest, from most of the stories I've heard, I don't think they remember
That's
much
valid.
of that game.
Yeah, that's valid. How would you guys celebrate that today? I mean, we'd obviously be doing a post-game show.
Pete's
Pete's, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be going to Illegal Pete's for sure.
19 margs.
19 bars. Oh my god.
Responsibly.
Yeah, 19 marks responsibly?
Yeah, over the course of a very long time.
Hours upon hours.
Yeah.
That experience, I can't imagine again. Similar to the 70-7 that Jackson He and that team had
Yeah.
is so special to them. The players on this team, I think you talk about that 96 season in this game specifically again, regardless of how the season ended, like that game specifically is just unbelievable.